Hello, my name is Marlene Perez, and today I will be giving my second affirmative rebuttal. First of all, I want to take the time to thank George Morales for being my opponent on this. It was very fun, but I do want to explain why my points are superior to his. I want to start off by stating something very general about both of our arguments. I believe my argument is more thought out and thinks more so about what we need to do to sustain the future versus George is more, it's quick thinking and doesn't really work out in the long run. And I'm going to go ahead and explain why. George does hope to take as many resources as he can from the moon and bring them back here on Earth, which is great. But once again, I brought up the point of there could be an issue of overmining or depriving the moon of all of its resources. If we deprive it of its resources, that would only end up being a one-time trip. We need to be thinking about the future, and why not take exactly what take limited amounts. We're not sure how quickly these resources will be able to pop back up on the moon, therefore we need to be very careful. Another thing I want to state with George is that, or I had stated, once again, going back to the resources, for my argument, I stated, yes, let's mine the moon, but let's only take what we need right now, not so much of everything. Also, George was very adamant about having individuals live on the moon. That's great thinking, but more complexity goes into that. I didn't state anything of that because I don't believe that's something that we should be thinking of as of right now. I think what we need to be focusing on are the resources at hand and exploring the moon in general to see what more can be produced, if there's any life there, how much water should be there. I think we should just be focusing on the resources as of right now. Not anyone living up there, because once again, that's more of a quick thought, not really thought out about the future. I mentioned before, who would be, if someone got sick, are we going to have to ship them back here? Are we going to have doctors up there? If there's doctors up there, are their families going to have to be up there? It's not very thought out. Another thing would be looking for the resources. George did say he wanted to take as much as we could, bring it back here. But he also stated that we should be focusing on the lunar ice caps. That's great, but shouldn't we have, because that's, I guess, where there's immediate water, but shouldn't we be exploring everything as a whole, taking a look at the entire moon and seeing what we can take from certain areas? I don't think that we're paying that much money to go up there, which will be a huge chunk. Why only focus on two specific areas? I believe, yes, we should focus on that, and I had said we should focus on those and bring some of it back, but at the same time, we need to be doing as much as we can with the money. I also had put a big mention on the REMs. I definitely think that we should be focusing on that as we're up there, being that our supply is very limited here, and China does have a huge, or not, I'm sorry, doesn't have that many there, but they do have the largest supply of them. I highly doubt that China's going to want to help out the world by distributing all the REMs they have. So if we go to the moon, we should be focusing on finding those instead of focusing on having people live up there right now, because that's not something obtainable at the moment. I also did mention that if we go up there, we should do a very elaborate studies of the moon. If we can focus on that, then the moon could be a second possibility, like George was stating, in the future. But we need to see what is obtainable there. What can we get? What will we need to take there? The only way to do that is by further studying what is up there. Those are the main reasons why I believe my argument is superior. Like I said, George Morales states some very good points, but they're all very very quick. He's thinking on instinct and not really thinking of the long run. I believe if we go to the moon, we should be thinking of the long run, because it's something that we only have one moon. If we mess this up, we've kind of screwed ourselves over out of something that could have been a very beautiful opportunity. Thank you so much, and thank you, Professor Jared, for taking the time to watch this video.